Good morning students. I am Moshmi Prasad and creator of this channel Digital Generation. This channel is regarding chapter wise preparation for both ICSE and CBSE students. I hope you will get best knowledge and explanation from this channel. Today we are going to study about electromagnetism or magnetic effect of current. Oersted in 1820 discovered magnetic effect of current. He found that a wire carrying a current can deflect the compass needle. The compass needle has a tiny magnet and is deflected from its usual north-south direction only when it is acted upon by another magnetic field. So he concluded that the current carrying wire must be producing magnetic field around it, and this is why the magnetic needle is deflected from its usual north-south direction. The importance of magnetic effect of current lies in the fact that it gives rise to mechanical forces. Electric generators, electric motors, maglev trains all works on the principle of magnetic effect of current. Now we will describe Oersted experiment. Oersted took a copper insulated wire AB and placed it in north-south direction. He then connected the wire with the battery and then a switch. He placed a magnetic needle under the wire. Now, when he pressed the switch, the electric current flows through the wire. And then, here in this experiment, the direction of current is from north to south pole, that is downward. And then the deflection of needle is in this side. Now, he changed the direction of current by changing the connection of battery. So, now he passed the current from south to north, that is upward. When the current is passed from south to north or upward, then the deflection in the needle is in the opposite direction. That is, it is tilted on left side. Here the deflection of the needle is on right side. So it was very clear for him that the direction of magnetic field changes when we reverse the direction of current. Here the direction of current is downward or from north to south. So the deflection of the magnetic needle is on the right side. But when the direction of current is from south to north, that is upward, then the deflection on the left side. So the direction of the magnetic field reverses when we reverse the direction of the current. This process was used to find the concealed current carrying wire by plotting compass. If we place a plotting compass on a wall and move it on the wall, the place where there is deflection in its magnetic needle lies the concealed current carrying wire, because current carrying wire produces magnetic field around it and thus it deflects the magnetic needle. So concealed current carrying wire is detected by using plotting compass. Now we will study about the different magnetic field pattern produced by different current carrying wires. The magnetic field pattern differs when we change the shape of the current carrying wire. The three most important shapes of current carrying wire are taken here. Number 1, the straight current carrying wire. Number 2, the circular current carrying wire. And the third, the solenoid. Now we will describe one by one the magnetic field produced by them. So first take the case 1, the magnetic field pattern produced by a straight current carrying wire. If AB is the straight current carrying copper wire and it is connected to a battery with a switch, and if a horizontal cardboard sheet is fixed on this, and if we sprinkle some iron filings on this cardboard, and now when we press this switch, then we will see that current is passing through this straight current carrying wire. And when the current passes, these iron filings are aligned in concentric circles. So we can say that the magnetic field pattern produced by straight current carrying wire are concentric circles. Whose center lie on the wire. So these concentric circles are the magnetic field produced by a straight current carrying wire. Now if we place the magnetic compass needle here, then this magnetic compass needle will give the direction of the magnetic field lines. It is observed that the concentric circles which are produced are closer near the wire and they become larger or wider as we move away from this wire. So it was concluded that the magnetic field strength decreases when the distance of a point from the wire increases. So the magnetic field produced at near end of the wire is stronger than the magnetic field produced at the far end. Thus, the magnitude of the magnetic field produced by straight current carrying wire is directly proportional to the strength of the current. If we increase the strength of the current, magnetic field strength will also increase. and is inversely proportional to the distance from the wire. Inversely proportional to a point from a wire. Thus, as we move farther away from this wire, the magnetic field lines becomes wider and larger, indicating the decreasing strength of the magnetic field, whereas near the wire, the magnetic field lines are closer. Now, how to find the direction of the magnetic field without using plotting compass? So, to find the direction of the magnetic field produced by a straight current carrying wire, we had a rule known as Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. And according to this rule, imagine that you are grasping the current carrying wire with your right hand, and the thumb indicates the direction of current, and the other fingers which encircles the wire gives the direction of the magnetic field. For example, if we hold the current carrying wire in this way, then the thumb represents the direction of current, that is upward. Then the magnetic line produced by this straight current carrying wire having the direction of current upward will be this way, that is anti-clockwise. So, if the direction of current is upward, then the direction of the magnetic field lines will be anti-clockwise. Again, if we change the direction of current, now the direction of current is downward, thumb representing the direction of current, then the direction of the magnetic field lines will be clockwise, fingers are enclosing in this way. So, if the direction of the current is upward, the direction of the magnetic field will be anti-clockwise, and if the direction of the current is downward, then the direction of the magnetic field lines will be clockwise. This is called Maxwell right hand thumb rule. Now we will study about the magnetic field lines produced by a circular current carrying wire. Now, if we take a circular loop and fix it in a horizontal cardboard sheet, we pass a current by connecting it with a battery and a switch, then we will see that the magnetic field lines produced are circles near the circular loops. Near each circular loop, the magnetic field lines are circular. This is called the segment of the loop. As we move away from this segment of the loop, the magnetic field lines becomes wider or larger, and at the center, the magnetic field lines are straight. From this segment also, the magnetic field lines are circular. As we move away from this circular loop, the circles becomes wider and larger, and at the center, the magnetic field lines are straight. And now, if we apply here Maxwell right hand thumb rule, we will see that the magnetic field line produced are all in the same direction, and at the center the magnetic field lines are added up. So, the magnetic field strength in circular loop is stronger than in a straight current carrying wire. The magnetic field in a circular loop is stronger because the magnetic field lines at the center are straight. So, the magnetic field strength are added up by each magnetic field lines. This is the pattern of the magnetic field lines when we take a circular loop. So, the magnitude of the magnetic field produced by a circular loop is directly proportional to the strength of the current and inversely proportional to the radius of the circular loop. If we increase the radius of the circular loop, then the magnetic field produced will become weaker and weaker, and as we come closer to the circular loop, the magnetic field strength will increase, and if we increase the strength of the current, then the strength of the magnetic field will also increase. Now, here we have taken example of only one single circular loop. Now, if we take a number of turns of this circular loop, then we will find that the magnetic field increases. So, we have studied that the magnitude of the magnetic field produced by a circular loop is stronger than the magnetic field produced by a straight current carrying wire, and the direction of the magnetic fields can be determined in each section by using Maxwell right hand thumb rule. Now, we will study about clock face rule. Circular loop acts as a disk magnet which has two faces. One face is north pole and the other face is south pole. So, a circular loop will have two poles, north pole and south pole. How to identify the poles in a circular loop? For this, we will use clock face rule. According to this rule, if the direction of the current is clockwise, then that pole will be south. And if the direction of current is anti-clockwise, then it will have north pole. So, if one face of the circular loop is having south pole and the direction of the current is clockwise, then the other face will automatically be the north pole and the direction of the current will be anti-clockwise, and the maximum magnetic field produced will be at the center of the circular loop. Now, what will be the face of this circular loop? See the direction of the current. Here the direction of the current is clockwise. So the front face will be south pole, and so the other face will be north pole, and the direction of the current flowing through it will be anti-clockwise. This is known as clock face rule, and this clock face rule is used to find the polarity of circular loop, solenoid, and also for electromagnets. Now we will study about the magnetic field pattern produced by a solenoid. What is a solenoid? Solenoid is a long coil which has large number of closer turns of insulated copper wire, and the two ends of the solenoid are connected to a battery and a switch. We have studied previously that if we increase the number of turns in a circular coil, then the magnetic field produced by it will also be increased. So the maximum magnetic field will be obtained if we take a solenoid. We have studied earlier that in a straight current carrying wire, magnetic field is produced, but it is weaker than a circular loop, and the circular loop produces magnetic field stronger than that of a straight current carrying wire. Now we are studying that a solenoid produces a magnetic field which is stronger than even a single circular loop. So to get the maximum magnetic field produced, we must use solenoid, and solenoid consists of number of turns of the copper insulated wire. If we draw the magnetic field lines of a solenoid, we will find that it resembles to that of the bar magnet. The magnetic field lines of a solenoid enters from one side of the solenoid and comes out from another end. This is the south pole of the solenoid, and this is the north pole of the solenoid. So we can see that the magnetic field lines are starting from the south pole and is ending in north pole inside the solenoid, whereas the magnetic field lines outside the solenoids are starting from the north pole and are ending in south pole and are forming closed curve. Here it is clear that the magnetic field lines inside the solenoids are straight lines, and these straight lines are produced, which indicates that the magnetic field produced is uniform inside the solenoid. And we have already studied that the magnetic field increases if we increase the number of turns of the circular coil, because the direction of the current is same and the magnetic field produced is added up. Thus the maximum magnetic field is produced if we increase the number of turns of the coil. So here we are studying that inside the solenoid the magnetic field lines are straight. That means the magnetic field produced inside the solenoid is uniform. That is, it is equal everywhere inside the solenoid. It has a strong magnetic field. The strength of the magnetic field produced by a solenoid depends on three factors. Number one, number of turns of the coil. If we increase the number of turns of the coil, then the magnetism produced will be more. Secondly, it depends on the strength of the electricity. If we increase the strength of the electricity, then the magnetic field produced will be more. And thirdly, the nature of the core material. The core material or the iron rod which we insert inside the solenoid must be of soft iron and not steel, because soft iron loses its magnetism as soon as the current is switched off in a solenoid, whereas in steel it does not lose its magnetism and forms permanent magnet. So only soft iron rod is used for making electromagnets by using solenoids. Uses of solenoids. Solenoids are used for making electromagnets. Now we will study about electromagnets. Electromagnets are temporary magnets, and it is the combination of the solenoid plus iron core. These together makes the electromagnets. Electromagnets works on the principle of magnetic effect of current. We know that the magnetic field produced inside the solenoid is very strong because there are large number of turns of the coil. Now, if we insert a soft iron ore inside this solenoid, then this soft iron also get magnetized because of the method of induction. Then these also in turn produces magnetic field. So the combined magnetic field of the coil wire or solenoid plus the soft iron gives a very strong magnetic field, and this is known as electromagnet. Electromagnet works as long as we switch on the current. When we switch off the current, electromagnet does not work. The soft iron core becomes demagnetized or it loses all its magnetism. Electromagnets are used for various purposes. Electromagnets are used in maglev or magnetic levitation train for removing iron or steel particles from the ice. Electromagnets are temporary magnets. Only soft iron rod is used for making electromagnets. Steel is used for making permanent magnet. So we always use soft iron rod as a core material for making electromagnets. Now we will study about the factors affecting the strength of electromagnets. The strength of electromagnets depends on the number of turns of the coil. If we increase the number of turns of the coils in solenoid, then greater magnetic field will be produced, and so the strength of the electromagnet will get increased. Secondly, it depends on the strength of the current. If we increase the strength of the current flowing through the solenoid, then the strength of the magnetic field produced will be increased, and hence the strength of the electromagnet will be increased. And thirdly, by reducing the length of air gaps between the two poles of the magnet. If the length of the air gap between the two poles of the magnet are reduced, then the strength of the electromagnets increases. And for this reason, U-shaped electromagnets are stronger than bar-type electromagnets. In bar-type electromagnets, the air gaps between the two poles is quite large, and so it produces weaker electromagnets. On the other hand, U-shaped magnets or horseshoe-shaped magnets, the length of air gaps between the two poles is small, so they are stronger electromagnets. Now we will study the difference between permanent magnet and electromagnet. Permanent magnets are always permanent and they cannot be demagnetized, whereas electromagnets are temporary magnets and it works only when the current is switched on. When the current is switched off, the electromagnet does not work, so it is a temporary magnet. The polarity of the permanent magnets cannot be changed, whereas the polarity of the electromagnets can be changed by reversing the direction of current. Thirdly, the strength of the permanent magnet cannot be changed, whereas the strength of the electromagnets can be changed. It can be increased if we increase the number of turns of the coil, if we increase the strength of the electric current, and by using soft iron rod. So the strength of the electromagnets can be changed. Fourthly, the force of magnetism is quite weak in permanent magnet, whereas the force of attraction in electromagnets are quite strong, because the strength of the electromagnets can be increased easily. The examples where permanent magnets are used are ammeter, speedometer, voltmeter in radios, televisions, loudspeakers, microphones, whereas electromagnets are used in maglev train or magnetic levitation train, where the train moves by the effect of magnetic effect of current and no wheels are required for this maglev train. Electromagnets are also used in hospitals for removing iron or steel particles from the eyes. Electromagnets are used for making electric generators and electric motors. Polarity of the electromagnets can be determined by using clock face rule. Now see in this example of the electromagnet. If we go to the left side of this electromagnet, we can see that the direction of electric current is anti-clockwise. So this left hand side will be the north pole. And if we look from this right hand side, then the direction of current is clockwise. So this side will be south pole. Electromagnets always has north pole and a south pole according to the direction of the current. In our next video, we will study about the force on current carrying conductor when placed at the magnetic field. Thank you for watching my video, and if you find my video useful, please do like and share my video and subscribe my channel to get the latest update of my videos. If you have any doubt regarding this chapter, comment below. I will try to answer as early as possible.